There we go. But yeah, gonna go ahead and continue this. Last time with some genuinely good music. So last time around, we got ourselves some spirits. And now it is our duty to continue. But let me first make sure that everything is as I wanted. Okay, so you have Kieran. You have Kate, Sif. Oh yeah, because we got... Okay, so we have actually shifted everything around already. Okay, good. Okay, so that one goes up. Must say, it's gonna probably take a moment for me to remember... Oh, we have some new things. Hello, new things. Now, I do remember... They did mention that, like, they were weak to magic. I also distinctly remember that we are vastly underleveled. Like, I also distinctly remember that we are relatively vastly underleveled, so... Hi, DJ Cool Master, how are we doing on this very fine Monday? Hi, T, how are you doing on this very fine Monday? Yeah, we're all currently level 13 and 15, and the enemies are a higher level than that. They were 19, I believe. We hope you're all doing very well on this fine Monday morning or evening or afternoon, whatever it happens to be. So, oh, nice. Oh, I hope you're having a good lunch. I am having pizza later today because I can't be bothered to cook. Some Modern Civ 5. Oh, cool. Hope Modern Civilization is going well. I've actually started playing Skyrim again over the weekend. And I don't have a good reason why. I just started playing it again, and I'm like, yeah, I'm having fun. Like, I can't tell you why I all of a sudden decided that, yeah, I really want to play Skyrim again, but hey, man. I'm having fun. I did mod it to have some additional things in there, but it's mostly like small things. Okay, so there's the Magitech Research Facility. Oh, there's a that looks relatively terrifying. Hello, Mr. Destroyer. That is the wrong button. Okay, so you get, I guess, healed from magic, maybe? Or maybe it's thunder specifically that heals you? Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's thunder specifically. Okay. Okay, that's a good start. But yeah, as for me today, I just kind of went to a local bookstore in order to see if they had something good. The answer is they did. The one really annoying thing though is that I was like wanting to take a look at some English books, and there was like this random couple that had been standing in front of them for like the better part of like a while. And as they returned, I was like, well, you know, it'll be done right now, right? But I returned from upstairs after like 20 minutes, and they were still standing in front of the case. And I can't tell you why they did that. I just know that they did. Okay, there you go, good. Okay, level 16, very nice. We have random person. Hello, random person. You are enemy. You are number 024. Okay. I think I've seen you in 14 as a boss fight at some point. Okay, so Flash does a lot. Because I remember him being in, like, I want to say Stormblood. During the 69, during the 69 dungeon. Yeah, we see, there we go. I sometimes remember something. Isn't he like the cup overfloweth dude, or is that someone else? Barrier check. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's use Libra. Let's go and have a look at, see what he is weak against. Vulnerable to ice. Okay, good. That is good. Just need to use Libra every once in a while. Wow, who knew that information from later games would actually come in useful here? I'm not surprised about that. And you do 0. Okay. Okay, so that's a barrier change. This is 2 barrier changes back to back. Okay, interesting. Did we like skip a phase or something? Is that possible? Maybe like by accident just kind of skipped a phase of some kind? System error, okay. Oh, fuck. Sun buff, okay. Oh, never mind, okay. Vulnerable to holy. I do not have holy energy. I don't know what just happened here. But I do know that I do not have holy energy in any way, shape, or form. But that shouldn't be the biggest issue on the planet, based on our damage output. Okay, there's a barrier change again. You know what? I don't think I want to risk it. Like, we are actually very close to killing him, based on the 1700 that we still have. So I think I will just continue the onslaught as it currently exists. Especially because Fang is doing a surprising amount of damage here. Like, way more than I was actually expecting. Still though, it doesn't do it. Oh, there we go. I wanted to say, doesn't hurt to use Libra one final time, but there's no need for that. Wow, this is the first boss fight where I felt actually competent. Apologies, I need to go ahead and take a moment here. Because I feel genuinely competent at what I did there. Okay. I wanted to check something else. I might wait until after the ad break to continue, simply because it's pretty clear that there is gonna be some kind of story cutscene that's going to be happening. And we are about to have ads, so I think we will just wait for the ad break to start, so that people don't have to miss anything. So, there we go. There's our ad break. And there we go. Welcome back, everyone. Anyway, now that I felt competent, let's go ahead and return to not feeling competent. Also, oh wow, that is a lot of. I want to see icons. Oh yeah, Espers. There we go. So, but power will be interest to you. I'm sorry, what? We just get 6 random Espers? Wow, okay. Also, Sid. Hello, Sid. I know that name. I know the name Sid. I have seen that before. With essences of their power. Hope to extract. That does not look great. Obtained magicite. Okay. Interesting. Oh boy, that's gonna be an interesting status screen we're gonna be on for a bit. True, infiltrated the... Oh. Cyan, please, not the best moment. Also, Kefka, please, you're sort of interrupting something here, buddy. Also, Locke, can we not jump to everyone is being an idiot in this cutscene. It feels like everyone is being an idiot by being too hasty in this cutscene. Also, god damn it, our healer is gone. I'm sorry, I know this is an important cutscene, but I'm like, god damn it. I mean, I'm assuming it's an important cutscene. Energy flux and extraction. That does not sound good. That is okay. Before we do that though, I know we're sort of in a hurry here. Let's have a look at our new friend. So we have Unicorn, which gives healing horn, curing most part of most status ailments. Hi Joshua, how are we doing today? Before you ask, I still have not begun writing. I've been ill for the better part of an entire month, and like I probably just need someone to come here and slap me into actually writing my YouTube video. We have Madwin, which gives us Chaos Wave. We have Demon Eye for Petrification, Bio Break, and Death. Could be interesting. Thank you. Also, next week is my birthday. So, you know. Except for that I moved to it. I haven't found my server yet. But yeah, next week on Wednesday is my birthday, so I'm giving myself a break for a bit. Although the birthday stream will happen later in the week. Fun fact actually about my birthday, since we're talking about it. Guess who needs to go to the government on his birthday? It's me! Thanks, government, for the birthday present. I hate it. Phantom gives allies invisible. Ooh, hang on. Gravity reduces the target by HP by half. And we have Carbuncle. Which is cast Reflect. Oh, Reflect could be very useful. And Bismarck. At level up strength +2, amply HP. There, I can definitely see a lot of interesting things happening here. So I think for now I'll kind of keep my. For now, I think I'll keep them as they are. But I'm definitely seeing some future ideas right there. Okay, so Kefka threatened. Yeah, there's like a lot of customizations, and it's starting to get to the point where my brain is slowly breaking. Going to talk to the Emperor and make him realize how foolish this whole war is. I'm sure he will listen to you. I feel for you, Sid. I truly, truly do. Like, the thing here is that whenever I feel overwhelmed with choices, I'll just kind of go like, okay, what I currently have is working, so that's sort of what I'll stick with until it no longer works. Which is not how it's meant to be done. But that's how my brain works when there is like an overabundance of customization options. Okay. So we are dumped into what I can assume is a minecart. We have luckily been able to say... Oh, that's a cool little... That's cool. Oh, that's a cool little effect right there. I'm also very happy that Locke is capable of healing. Fun addition. I'm sorry, is this not in the original game? The Magma Rider? Vulnerable to fire. Okay, was in the OG game here as well. Okay, good. That's just a normal enemy. Okay. Hey, we learned thunder. Haha, yes. Didn't seem before, was it? Oh, cool. Also, I really like the use of mode 7 in here. Like, this is a great way to add depth to the 2D plane. I will say, it looks... I like the way that... Yeah, no, I'm a fan of sort of like the way that the mode 7 is used. That's a really nice bit of just sort of like depth to what it is that we're doing. I'm also getting some serious experience. Combined with the music, just really adds to a really nice feeling of like heroism. And we have two magma... Oh, sorry, magna rotors. My apologies, sir. I wasn't aware that that's... for some reason, I'm reading it as magma. I don't know why. I mean, I feel like this isn't so much love, so much as because it was probably already in the normal, in like the Super Nintendo. Like, I assume, given the fact that this is mode 7, that this was already in the OG game. Okay, so we have body slam. Well, I'm very happy that Locke is currently capable of healing us, because we do need it. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. Oh, so this is one big facility. I'd like to have like a second healer in RPGs, just in case, like, the normal healer just, for story reasons, has to leave. There we go, Locke is now level 14, has also gained ourselves a water scroll. Do I just need to, like, pick directions or something? Like, I'm not seeing anything that... Hello, Mr. 128! How do you do? I believe you were also in that particular dungeon that we talked about before. I distinctly remember you being in the same dungeon as the other. For those of you who don't know what it is that I'm talking about, a lot of the enemies that I'm seeing in this dungeon remind me a lot of a very particular dungeon in Stormblood. Okay, so lock us down. Okay, so he's now using haste. Right blade is once again in. Okay, how are we going to do this? We have 3 party members. Cannot go anywhere else. No. Okay. Okay, so we have like 4 fights, and then we have the boss enemy. That's possible. Oh, board. Okay, Thundera. That could actually... I think what I want to do first is use Libra to kind of see what the potential weaknesses are. I think that is gonna be step 1. I mean, step 1 is to just heal. And then use the combination of flurry and crossbow. Like that. Gotta be so much like a way to heal before the boss fight. Okay, so this is now fight 3. It really is, yeah. And given the fact that this was in the 90s, they obviously wanted to have some pizzazz to the enemy design. Okay, so there we go. That is now dead. It's the final magma rotor. Now I think about it, I can actually use, if he's weak to thunder, we might be able to use thunder instead. Yeah, sure, just casually drop a wheel at me. How kind. Is it the fact that we get a water scroll makes me think that that might be useful. Why would we be given a water scroll like that? Well, first things first, let's just first of all heal. Let's use Libra. Just first of all, make sure that we are all sort of like healed up. Level 22, 700 HP, MP, no weaknesses. That. Okay, let's first of all go ahead and slow. Oh yeah, right, because we have we have slow as an slow might actually become very useful. I did not actually check the numbers. Okay, he's dead. I have a new idea. I'm currently thinking, because I think what we want to use is just use everything all at once. Also, I didn't exactly see how much HP Bam heals and slow him down. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. The problem is that we need to get to a point where we can use those attacks in the first place. Also, I couldn't see what the HP said, so I might need to use Libra once just for that. Because the fact that we're getting scrolls implies to me that Shadow either should be here. Nah, it was that was the arms. It wasn't the arms I needed to know. It was the main body that I was worried about. That's sort of like my problem, is I didn't see what the main body said. Yeah, I'm thinking of what I'm thinking of is perhaps using sort of like using the summons immediately to get rid of the arms. That's sort of like where I'm currently standing. Is like, is there a way to get rid of the arms immediately? Because that way he only has 2 attacks, which is already better than having 3. Oh no, you're not seeing the Ice Brand effect, because I'm not using it. I'm not using Ice Brand at the moment. I am currently using a combination of Flory and the auto crossbow, because it just deletes the enemies in like 1 turn. Like the combination just deletes deletes groups in a single turn, which is cool. Cool is the right word, I feel. Yeah, cool is the right word. Okay, there we go. So we want to get rid of the arms, and we want to slow just about immediately. Okay. So let's go ahead and try this again. Oh, never mind, we have 1 more. God, I've forgotten how many we have. Like, I'm not a fan of the run back to the boss. If I'm brutally honest. Okay, Fyra. Okay, let's start off with... Then we do need Libra on number 128. Because I do need to know roughly what the HP total is. That's a lot! Okay. So he's dead. Oh, never mind, he's not. Fuck's sake. Yep. Okay, so he's using haste. Okay, we're in the middle of an outbreak, so I'm gonna need to wait for a bit. I'm curious in the meantime if you can do slow multiple times, which is probably what we would need to do in that case. So currently waiting. Currently waiting. It's not necessarily bad. It's more so... I'll explain in a moment, but... This is done deliberately. Okay, welcome back. For those of you who might actually be relatively new, I have it on that ads run every 30 minutes for 90 seconds. And the reason for that is that the way Twitch ads work, compared to YouTube, the way Twitch ads work is that if you don't have this kind of system in place, then people will be hit by like 2-3 minutes of ads at the start of a stream. So when you open up a stream on Twitch and it just throws you a bunch of ads out of nowhere, that's what I'm trying to avoid. By having like a 90-second break every 30 minutes, we sort of make sure everyone is capable of enjoying the content, essentially. That is sort of what we are going for. Okay, so slow can only be done once. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have them, but it's not worth it at that point. It will run away. Okay, let me go. Let me do some thinking here. Let me do some thinking here. Alright. See you in a few. The main problem is twofold. One is speed. We can deal with that using slow. One is defense, which we don't have an answer for because we are level 16 fighting a level 23 enemy. Hang on. Casts reflect on all allies. That could in theory work, right? Like, use carbuncle. Yeah, I know, and the problem is I can't go back because I have one save. Because I'm an idiot like that. I know it only works for magic, but he does do magic attacks. I know that it only works for magic, but I know he also does magic attacks. We have... What else do we have? We have turn all allies invincible. Hang on, let me quickly have a look at this. We have turns all allies invincible. Cast reflect. I'm trying to remember what... I'm trying to remember what invincibility does. I know it does something. Like, I'm trying to remember what that something is. I might just, to be honest, why am I being an idiot? I can just look this up. Let me see here. Character with invisible will invade all physical attacks, even those that are unblockable, that will never evade magic attacks. Desperation attack. I don't know what a desperation attack is. It's has invisible, it appears as honor. That could work. I can try. Like, I can try to give Lock Phantom. And see if that maybe works. Like, it's just an idea. We will try it. Like, we can give it a try. Exactly, yes. Yes, indeed he does. Like, we can deal with one of the problems using slow. So if we use lock on the first turn to become invincible... Like, here's my idea. We use lock on the first turn to become invincible. We then use Thundera and Ifrit in order to destroy the arms. And to slow, we use... Hang on, here's the idea. Lock uses this enemy on the first turn to slow down the enemy. Then we use slow, or to become invincible. Then we use slow. And then maybe from there... Like, I'm just thinking on top of my head here. What could and could not possibly work. Because we are 7 levels behind. Like, this is not gonna be an easy fight no matter what happens. Oh, wait, hang on. If we have slowed him and he only has 1, then Flurry does 4 times on the same. Oh, hang on. I'm starting to get an idea. There's an idea, and it is forming in my head. And it is dangerous when ideas begin forming in my head. So here's my idea. After we've done Phantom and Slow, assuming it works, after we've done Phantom and Slow, and we've gotten rid of the arms, Flurry will hit 4 times on the main body. Which would do a whopping, what is it, 700 damage in 1 turn? That could work. I'm not sure if it would work, but there's an idea forming in my head now. That if it works, then I'm gonna feel very smart. I'm not certain if it will work, but it's an idea, and it is better than nothing. But yeah, based on what I read in regards to invincibility, it seems that it is meant to make it so you become invincible to physical attacks. At least that's what the Final Fantasy wiki told me just now. I'm not certain how true it is, but I'm ready to give it a shot. Like, I don't know what Cure will do, or what Phantom will do, but... like, that also gives... and then Locke can spend that time... just kind of healing us. He just needs to survive the first onslaught. Okay, so he's been slowed. Okay. Okay, hang on. Hang on. We're getting somewhere. Okay, we are getting somewhere. Okay, we're not getting somewhere because it was only 2 turns. Well, that's that particular idea out of the window. And here I was hoping it was for more than 2 turns. Actually, guess we have just not done haste. So, question is, can I? I mean, we can slow the right blade. Sure, why not? Okay, that is... So... I've been quiet because I'm trying to think of what the best course of action is. Because I don't want to look anything up. The part of the fun of a blind playthrough is... I'm gonna say some not so nice words about Final Fantasy VI. Specifically about the level design of this particular dungeon. This has nothing to do with whether or not a boss is too hard or not. I mean, not in the way you think it is. But I kind of feel the need to talk for a moment about the usage of boss enemies. More specifically, about what happened in this dungeon just now. And the reason I want to do that is because we're gonna do something. Hang on, let me get myself paint here, because I just feel the need to talk about something here for a moment. I should mention I'm not a game designer, but over the many years that I've been gaming, yes, indeed, I indeed have teleported. That's how you know it's a different scene. Over the many years that I've been gaming, I've come to some conclusions as to also fuck Copilot. Why is it in my paint? But I've come to some conclusions over the course of my time playing games, which is the usage of bosses in dungeons. So let's say that you have a linear boss. Let's say you have a linear dungeon. You have like goes in here, goes in here, goes in here, big room, goes in here, final room. There we go. Let's say that this is your dungeon. Linear set of rooms, into big room, into choice room. Let's say you can do this, and then you can also move between them. And then you do this. This is purely for the sake of dungeon layout. It doesn't really matter too much. The idea is that you move from room to room to room to room to room into the end. That's the part everyone agrees on. And let's say that you put a boss enemy here, and you put a mini boss here. Here's my question: what is the purpose of the mini boss? And like I said, I don't do game design, but my theory, my belief is that the idea behind the mini boss is to prepare the player for the boss. It is essentially a safety check for the player. Like, the idea here is that you have a safety, you have essentially a safety bird check to make sure that the player is capable of running the entire dungeon. That if they were sort of like, if they got through the dungeon on luck, this is the moment where, let me go ahead and actually write something here. This is the moment where the enemy, where sort of like, and we have 128 here. There we go. This is essentially to make sure that like the player knows what they are doing, and that they can actually beat the dungeon. If you cannot beat the mini-boss, you cannot beat the dungeon. Exactly, like the vampire in the Earth Temple. If you cannot beat the vampire, then the Earth Temple is probably too hard. You probably need to, in some way, level grind for a bit. The reason I'm saying this is because I don't think Final Fantasy VI fully understands that. See, here's the thing. You might be wondering, you're level 16. Why did you think you could beat Element 128? The answer is Element 26. It's the mini-boss that we had before, like, the big story room. Because Element 26, based on this diagram, is a mini-boss. They're there in the middle of the dungeon to make sure that you, the player, are prepared for whatever comes next. If you have problems with Element 26, then in theory, Element 128 is going to be really difficult, and you should just stay in the dungeon for a bit. You should grind more. And I know that it's been talked about that, oh yeah, you should, you know, they sort of expect you to grind in between stuff. But that's what the mini-boss is for, isn't it? Even if you assume for a moment that the player does understand that they need to grind, if you have problems with Element 26, you should have problems with Element 128. If you can beat Element 26, 128 should be theoretically easy. Of not easy, but should be doable. And the reason I'm talking about this is because Element 26 was really easy for us. Like, I did it in one go, I had no real problems beating Element 26, so I went into the next room with the idea that, okay, whatever the dungeon is gonna throw at us, I am prepared. I am prepared for what's coming next, I'm prepared for what needs to happen. And I think under this schedule, as I've laid it out, Element 128 should be giving me some trouble. It's definitely an enemy with an interesting mechanic. But this layout is not the layout that Final Fantasy VI uses. I'm gonna go ahead and put in a little thing right here. And add a little round thing. I don't care. The pointer is that we need to differentiate. This room right here, on the right here, is a story room. More specifically, it's a story room that takes away a very important ally. What I mean with that is that, assuming, I don't know what the average player is, but playing as I have, there are two healers that I've been using, and I'm trying to keep a party, sort of like a party going of like one tank, one healer, and then two DPS. Sort of like, you know, your average party size as they would otherwise be. So, given the fact that one of our healers, we have two healers at the moment in Final Fantasy VI at this point in the story. One of them is preoccupied because they are currently unconscious, they cannot continue still for story reasons. That's fair, the game has a second healer. But in this story room right here, they take that second healer away. They are taking that second healer away from you for story-related reasons. The problem is that the dungeon seems to be designed with the idea in mind that you have a third backup healer somewhere. That you were smart enough to realize that this healer is gonna be taken out of commission for some reason before you even like entered the dungeon. So therefore there needs to be another healer, because you cannot go back anymore either. You cannot go out of the dungeon because that's a one-way road. Once you've saved in the dungeon, that's it. You're now in it for the long haul. So, my complaint for Final Fantasy VI at the moment is that they create this particular setup where you have like a mini boss that is meant to showcase if you're capable of doing the dungeon. They have a story moment where they take away a healer, but they seemingly still assume that a party with only 3 people in it is capable of beating element 128. And my complaint there is that it seems that, and it's entirely possible the game has become more difficult, is that, obviously I'm also not in the best shape, but in that case, my argument is in that case, element 26 should have been more difficult. Because element 26 can be beaten by understanding element rotations. It's clearly a boss designed for you to understand that, hey, you need to use your sirens, you need to learn spells. If you haven't done that, you're gonna have a bad time. And as a function, as a test for understanding the concept, it's a good boss. It's constantly moving stuff, it's constantly switching stuff around. Your elements are constantly being switched, so you're constantly being forced to think on your feet, you're constantly forced to switch your magic. That's a great mini-boss. It's a great tutorial in case you have not done anything with your magic yet. But element 128 throws that lesson out of the window and forces you into a very difficult boss with no healers. And to say I'm a bit miffed is definitely the right word. My problem with the game at this stage, this dungeon specifically, is the fact that they have this setup, but they take away one of the most vital party members in any group with no way for you to really do anything. I think what is happening is some people have obviously played the game before. Let me actually go ahead and Google some stuff here. I think what is happening is that some people have, played the game before. Also, I need to get rid of this. And so, therefore, they have... therefore, they have... they know what's coming up, whereas I don't. Okay, what is the wiki gonna tell me? Okay, 2624, my bad, this is number 24, but the point still stands. Absorbed elements is ice. Fractional damage. I will say immediately I'm noticing that over here the wiki says, oh yeah, starts with net, which inflicts stop on a party member. Which is not happening. Like, this, already I'm noticing that this over here just does not match what we've seen. Like, I can definitely say, if you... So let me go ahead and read out what might be the OG game, but then the problem is I am kind of stuck. Fire is the best spell for this, as if it teaches it quickly. Powerful physical attacks like Edgar's Chainsaw, as well as Sabin's Blitzes, are also effective. Lock and steal valuable kisser for Sian. AI script, okay. Hang on. What is Blaster? Collected by the silence. Can you be silenced? You cannot. So allow me to do some quick thinking here, because I don't want to sit here and be like, oh yeah, we need to end the stream because I messed up massively and this entire week is essentially, I don't know what we're gonna be streaming because I need to get back to this point in the game. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to do that because that would sour Final Fantasy VI for me bad enough that I might just move on to the next Final Fantasy that I have, which would be 15 from the top of my head. Also, there will be ads in 2 minutes, so we're going to be doing the boss fight again after the ad break. But, like, the thing is if I have to end it, it's not so much as a quit moment, it's more so like if this is possible, then do I fully trust the AI? They bumped up the oh, for fuck's sake. That's not what I wanted to hear. Well, I have an entire ad break to think about what I'm gonna be doing next. Attacked by anything, Blood Feast. But that only goes for like... It doesn't go for like... Assuming for a moment that this AI script is true... Hang on, if number 128 is by itself, it only does once per battle phase, can only be done once, based on this AI script. I'm currently reading the AI script, trying to figure something out. So, but yeah, there will be an ad in 1 minute, so we're gonna be trying the boss fight again after the ad break. But like, how did they bump up the difficulty? I'm now really curious. Because the other problem I'm having is that the enemies themselves, like before... Sort of like before we start the... Before we get to number 128, the other enemies are relatively okay to do. So here's it's the problem is with Blaster. I don't have anything that targets... I'm currently what people were saying. That would make sense. Because we cannot go back up, we cannot go back down. Anyway, ad break. I'll be thinking during the ad break. I'll see you guys in 90 seconds. Please enjoy these specially prepared ads. Attack, Blizzard, attack. This is mostly for YouTube and for people who currently do not have ads. Attack, Gilcut, or Atomic Race. If monster is by itself, Blaster, Bloodfist, or Net. Attack, Blizzard. If monster by itself, attack, Shockwave. Attack by anything. But is the attack by anything? Does that count purely physical attacks? If it's purely physical attacks... Let me take a look at right blade and left blade. Number 128. The easiest way to defeat right blade is to summon caterpillars at the beginning of the battle. Both right blade and left blade are not immune to petrify. Wait, what? Welcome back, everyone. I'm reading something here that could help. I'm starting to get some form of strategy. I'm forming some form of strategy. The strategy here that I'm reading is that the easiest way to defeat left blade is to summon Catobal Pass at the beginning of the battle, as both the left blade and right blade are not immune to petrify. Until healed. Attack randomly. I am getting an idea based on the wiki. Here's the thing. The big problem here is we cannot... Here's my idea. I'm just saying my idea right now. So I'm just saying my idea, and then we can try it. So the thing that I'm seeing based on the AI script, because you are right, they are like sort of like attacking based on this AI script. there are two things that this AI script tells me that I hope is still true in the Pixel remaster, which is that haste can only be targeted if he's by himself, and that blaster can only be done, and that he will only use attack, blizzard, or blood feast when he has multiple arms. So if he has like any of his arms exist, then he will use one of these instead of haste and instead of blaster, which is apparently an outright kill spell. Assuming, I'm doing some assuming and logic here, assuming that the game only checks if the blades exist and not the state the blade is in, we can use Kettlebell Pass in order to petrify the blades, and then we are essentially fighting purely in that case fighting number 128, because I don't think you can get rid of petrify. So that gives us time to heal, that gives us time. He can only attack once per turn, he won't use haste. That could work. This could work in theory. Is use petrify in order to get rid of the two arms without the AI actually activating the AI pattern for if there are no two arms. So we move you over to Kettlebell Pass. Because just for my reference, this is for me real fast. Also, we will get rid of Ice Brand for you because it's literally pointless. Let me go ahead and try this and see if this works. Like, in theory, this should be able to work, right? I mean, like I'm kind of hoping that I'm explaining my logic well enough. But we're gonna try and essentially trick the enemy's AI. That's what we're gonna be trying to do here. That's what we're gonna be trying to do, is trick the enemy AI. If it works, then I'm still gonna be really annoyed, to be perfectly honest. Because you should not need to do this kind of trickery. If this works, I'm still gonna be annoyed, because needing this kind of trickery, because I'm playing this game blind, should not be possible. Either they should... Exactly. In that case, I feel if you're gonna make this enemy more difficult, you should make the preceding boss also more difficult. Make it in that case that you should make it so that element 24 is also a lot more difficult and becomes a true test, and that it becomes abundantly clear that no, you need to be a higher level. You genuinely need to be a higher level than what you currently are. Because otherwise... Because I'm genuinely annoyed at the way that we essentially have to, like, trick the AI on this. I'm genuinely annoyed at that. But we won't know until we try, so we're just gonna give it a try. Gonna see how this will work out. Because I'm all out of ideas otherwise. At least all out of ideas that don't essentially end the stream and have me spending the next few days getting back to this point. But at that point it also feels like the game is in that case already ruined, because you then need to start like leveling based on one very particular scenario. Like, that just feels wrong on can't explain why, but that just feels fundamentally wrong. Like, and I hope people would understand if that was the case. Like, in that case, I might do it in my own time. But the game has, in that case, sort of like lost a certain sense of trust that exists between the player and the game. Like, there's a sort of inherent trust between gamer and developer that the developer will make things maybe very difficult, but also fair. And the word fair is sort of a word that I'm currently not... Yeah. Okay, so I believe this should be the... No, it's not. We have one more after this. Okay, so this is the last one. Like, the reason I'm saying this is because I've streamed Dark Souls in the past, so I'm aware of developers, you know, doing some light, you know, some light being really annoying. It's the best way. I want to say slightly choke you from behind as you're playing the game, but that feels wrong. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the first Dark Souls was light choking from behind. Okay, let's see if we can do this now. Okay, so petrifies all enemies. Next we're gonna use slow on number 128. Oh, that is not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted. Oh, that is not at all what I wanted. Please don't. Please don't tell me that they worked around this. I think I would be genuinely mad if they work around what we just tried to do. Because at that point, I can no longer... In that case, I'm genuinely all out of ideas. Okay, so you're dead. So petrification is not working. I'll be using left blade, so be it. Okay, he's dead. Oh, he's not dead. Okay, now we can use Flurry, I guess. So even that counts as... okay. I think it does. I might just try that, to be honest. Okay, so that also counts as boss feast. It does. I've seen it in the options. What is the... Oh, you are joking. I'm currently looking at like what my other options are. The only option I really have is a quick save at like the South Figaro Cave. That's just not doable. Alright. For that I probably need to... in that case, let us first of all go ahead and pause menu controls, turn to title screen. Yes, please. Options, configuration. I mean, it should be, right? I remember seeing it like in the options menu. Yeah, I know, because I've seen the option before in... I've used the option before as well. I just need to figure... Oh, there we go. Never mind. It's in configuration. There we go. I'm just an idiot. Time stops when selecting items or magic. Okay. So it's already in that. Let me go ahead and just do this just in case. Let us move our formation. You go down, just in case. So the main problem, in case you're wondering, well, you tried cuttable pause, why didn't it work out? Because it turns out that when you... I'm not certain if it's the game recognizing the trick, or if it's like just pure dumb luck. But the moment that you petrify the arms, they just fall off. Which is still useful, I should mention, like it still gives us a turn. Confuses enemies. Confusing is pointless because the boss in question is not. Silences all enemies. It's also pointless because he's immune to silencing based on the wiki. Kind of anger. Times all enemies with giant bulls. I mean, to be honest, it's as good a fucking idea as any other is. Like, to be honest, it's as good idea as any other, because I am genuinely getting to the point where I'm like, I'm not certain if I want to continue. And that's never a good place to be in, to be honest. Like, the annoying thing here is as well, it's just like, you guys are now seeing someone just not having fun. And I don't want to do that to you guys. Like, I don't want you guys to sit here and be like, wow, I really hate that he's not having fun. Like, I want to have fun. As much as you guys want me to see having fun. And the thing is, with something like Dark Souls, it feels like there's still progress being made. But that feeling feels completely gone here. I don't know, man. If only I could. If only I could. I genuinely cannot draw to save my life. Like you've seen how it looks like when I draw with paint. But you're more than aware. You're more than welcome to do it yourself, dude. Like I'm always fan art is always welcome. Like it will absolutely be showcased in that case on the main title screen. Locke learned fire, blizzard, and well, that's a start, I guess. Locke has learned a bunch of skills. That could be helpful. I'm not sure, maybe. Like, you know, like I said, fan art is always welcome. And it will absolutely be showcased during the intro screens, as you might or might not have seen before. The other thing that I might be able to do is maybe like take and turn off enemies until we reach the boss fight itself. I'm not certain if that would work. Like, I'm in the meantime already thinking for the next round, because that's sort of like the level that I've reached. Yes, all the tracks are arranged. Okay, well, here we go again. Here we are again. Oh, we did a song ago, so it's such a pleasure. Remember when you used to kill me about 10 times? Oh, how we laughed and laughed. Except I wasn't laughing. Under the circumstances, I've been shockingly nice. So, new tactic, we're just purely focusing with just magic at this point. It feels like about as solid an idea as any. And we are dead. Yeah, I have gathered that magic is rare in this world. What if we do encounters off? What if... Yeah, we might as well try Phantom again. Why not? Let's just try Phantom again. Why not? Let's give ourselves some time. I'm gonna turn off encounters, see if that works. If it doesn't, then we know it's just part of the entire thing, but I want to have this tested. At this point. Okay, so even that doesn't matter. Okay, good. Thanks, game. It's deeply appreciated. Really, love every second of this. Just... I just love being fucked in the ass with like a spiked bat. I apologize for that particular image. I should not have said it. Still came out. Anyway, let's go and continue trying. Maybe we will get lucky this time. Here is to our Jesus. May he reign eternal, and also may his kingdom soon end. I will say the Pixel remasters of 1 through 5 are genuinely really fun games to play. Maybe I'm just bad. Like, it's entirely possible I'm just bad. Like, don't make sure you read, you take a look at how other people play this game. Like, maybe, I don't know. I'm just gonna give this another shot, and if not, I could always put on Final Fantasy XIV, and we get to see the version that the game of this dungeon that went on in that game, and we can pretend as if we've beaten it. As for what else I'm gonna be doing afterwards, I don't know. I am like, there is definitely a level of bullshit being reached. Well, it's also good to know that I'm not the only person currently, or the only person annoyed. Because like I said, 1 through 5 are perfectly fine. Like, 1 through 5 are genuinely great game, Pixel remasters. So if you want to try the Pixel remasters, just pick up 1 through 5. They're genuinely great. As for 6... And Joshua, I'm so sorry to you specifically that this stream series is your introduction to me. I really wish it wasn't. Like, I'm genuinely sorry that this is your introduction to me. I wish it wasn't. That's all I can say. Okay, we have ads in roughly 2 minutes, so keep that in mind. I'll pause the game during the ad break, as usual. It's fine. Alright, well, good to hear. Good to hear. In the meantime, if there's anything you want me to talk about, you can do so now, because we will be stuck here. And like, otherwise, at some point I also might just need to say, video games, I mean, there are lots of video games. I was streaming Mega Man 11 on Sunday. There's something to look forward to. Like, I will be, as part of sort of like the smaller game series on Sundays, Mega Man 11 is gonna be streamed, so that will be fun. Oh, that's a good question. It's actually fine. The problem here... Okay, so let me explain my problem here with answering that particular question. This is my playtime of 14. Like, the problem here is I cannot answer the question because this is my playtime for Final Fantasy 14. But if we take out 14 for a moment, if we take out 14 for a moment, I really enjoy 5. I enjoy the mechanics of 5, like, immensely. Like, I genuinely really enjoy 5 mechanically and story-wise. So that will probably currently be it. But apart from that, I think it's 5. Then... I'll answer the question further after the ad break, but I will say I'm really starting to like the 7 remake as well, having never played 7 originally. There we go, welcome back. Joshua, you're saying 4. But if I'm allowed to go to my own Discord here for a moment, if you want to know roughly my opinion on 4... oh, hang on 1 second. Discord is not showing anything. It's not showing up. 1 second. Let me go ahead and do something real fast. I have forgotten that that's a setting on Discord. To streamer mode. 1 second. There we go. Okay, so if you want my opinion on 4, this is my opinion on 4. I like to throw this one out there. So this is sort of roughly. This is sort of roughly how I feel about 4. Like 4 has like some great characters, but the main character is, oh dear. Like, Cecil is such an oh dear character that I genuinely don't quite know how to deal with him. Otherwise, Final Fantasy 1, I enjoyed it as a prototype, but it kind of feels like the same way. I feel the same way about 1 as I feel about Battle Network 1. 2 was an interesting experiment. I like 3. I genuinely really like 3. 4 I sort of enjoy, but the way that it was done in 14 kind of makes me hate it partially, and 5 is by so far my favorite game in the series. And I'm currently also slowly going through 7 as well. So, and I should mention, I'm going through the Christ, I'm going to the remake of 7 because I've never originally played 7 myself. I think my main problem with Final Fantasy IV specifically is the fact that it feels like no one is talking to each other. Like, my main criticism of 4 is that so many problems can be fixed if people just take a moment to talk. That is sort of how I feel my major problem of Final Fantasy IV specifically is. But yeah, I personally really like 5, I like 3, 2 is an interesting experiment. I feel about 1 the same way I feel about Battle Network 1. Which is interesting prototype, but definitely misses a lot of the later features. Yeah, so we died again. This time around, we didn't even get certain items. I'm just like... Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. First of all, I'm gonna show you how this is gonna look on YouTube. Hang on, I'm gonna show you guys how this is gonna look on YouTube, because I have something that actually was sort of like... It's very samey. For those of you who don't know, I have a YouTube channel, so if you are curious about old streams, so to speak... Oh, hang on. I got a... Someone liked my new victory. I am confused. Why would you do that? I don't know. But yeah, if you are curious, I have a YouTube channel where all of the VODs go up at some point in time. Star Wars 3 is currently going on there slowly, but sadly I'm working on trying to fix that particular series of streams. But if we go to Battle Network 2, and then specifically, I believe it was like this one. Let me check. Was it this one? I need to check something here, because there's a particular fight in 2. Was it this one? Yeah, is it? Okay, it is this one. Okay, so if you want to know how this is gonna look on YouTube, allow me to show you what this is gonna look like on the YouTube side of VOD. So this was during Proto Man's fight. I was stuck in there for about 45 minutes. Oh, 1 second, can't see. My apologies. There we go. My bad. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so quick coming back. This is, so like I said, this is I have a YouTube channel, TrapKing18. 1 second, might as well do this real fast. Spiel. That's where all my VOD goes. Star Wars 3 is currently slowly being put on there. And this is, as you mentioned, it's Battle Network 2. This was my 5th time dying to Proto Man, I believe. So if you want to know a bit of a behind-the-scenes magic, this is what this whole 2-hour stream is gonna look like. So that is about an hour condensed into 30 seconds. Like, oh dear. As for other things, because I'll be honest, I can sit here and I can continue trying to fight and I can become really annoyed. That's not fun for you. That's not fun for me. So how about we do something different? I'm gonna quickly change games here, because what if I show you the version that I first experienced? Let me switch over to Final Fantasy XIV here real fast. Let me show you the version of this dungeon that I experienced. Final Fantasy, that's a good way to put it, yes. I need to remember my password real fast. Give me a moment. Otherwise, there is a way I can do it, but technically mods are not legal in the game, so yeah, you would have to look around that. Okay, take 2. Good, take 2 failed. What are we going to do now? We're going to exit the launcher, and I'm gonna tell you, shh, you didn't see nothing regarding mods. Shh. Shh. If anyone asks, you ain't seen nothing. Okay, just between you and me. No mods? What mods? You don't know any mods. All right, that's the promise that you and me as a community now make together. This, you don't know what this is. You have no idea. It's just something funny looking because I don't remember my password and I don't want to sit here for 30 minutes. Well, I'm stuck here remembering my own password. So, let me go ahead and quickly log in on my main character here real fast. And let me show you the version of this particular... There are actually 2 versions of the dungeons, but given the fact that we've been stuck on a particular boss, let me show you the dungeon that this boss is in. Because I think that will be fun. It will be a nice little way to sort of like look at how 14 has reimagined this particular fight. Let's hope my tank privileges still count. But yeah, I'll be putting on some smooth jazz. That's of course assuming that we do get back to Final Fantasy VI. It's entirely possible that I'm gonna be saying like, okay, this week Final Fantasy VI is out. We're gonna return to it once I get back to this point. And then we will all pretend as if nothing has happened. Let me first save my house. House has been saved. There we go. So. Oh, there's some stuff being... Please ignore all of the updating. There is no updating. Updating? What updating? I don't know any updating. What is this thing? Oh no, I don't know what this is. How horrible. How horrible. Oh no. What is all these things? I don't know. You don't either. So let's go to Stormblood and let's go to Castrum Abanium. So this is essentially the dungeon in relation to... So this is essentially the dungeon, as in like these are the enemies that you would recognize from the Agrochemical Research Facility. That's why I picked this dungeon, so... This is purely partially for me as well, so that I can beat a version of the fight tonight, and I do not care what version it is. That is sort of like the main thing here. It's like, I do not care what version of this fight I beat, as long as it is a version. Okay, oh, we have a new person in the group. Hello, new person. Hello, random new person. One or more party members are new to this duty. So, like I said, the reason you can see here the reason that I picked this. There we go. But yeah, I just want to beat. I just want to beat a version of that fight, and I'll determine what we will do afterwards. Oh shit! Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm a derp. I could have just run. Oh, well, I'm an idiot. Me idiot. Me forgetting that we can do multiple. I have forgotten I can do water wall on this one. Also, I should mention, the remake of Final Fantasy VII is actually not that... I can see what's weird about it, but like, mechanics-wise, I think from what I've seen of footage, it's very close to Final Fantasy 15. So that's not the biggest worry in the world. That's fair. I also forgot to change the title, but yeah. Okay, getting close to our first boss fight. Sucked. Apparently, there's actually, I'm not sure if you've seen the blue sky, but apparently there was a post from... there was apparently a post from like one of the current Final Fantasy directors that a lot of the current hires in Square Enix actually really like Final Fantasy 13. So like I said, I've never... Like, I'm currently working my way through 7, so... And I'm taking a break from that in order to play some Skyrim, because I'm just in the mood for that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's say hi to our first boss fight of the evening. At least first boss fight that we can actually beat. Welcome to Magna Roder. Hiya, buddy. I should mention, under normal circumstances, you cannot actually see this. It's part of a thing. I don't know. I'm the kind of person that can't really deal with percentages. I just kind of need to see the actual HP bar. Like, I don't know. I'm the kind of person that's like, if you're gonna give me information, just give me the HP. Okay. And don't worry, this looks more funky than it really is. It's just a matter of stay out of the poop. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, you know, like some people look at this and are like, wow, there are so many buttons you need to press. Like, they start you off assuming you don't know anything about MMOs. So don't worry too much about that. There we go. Come on, we can do this in 2 phases. I don't want us to go through all of that again. There we go. Alright. Boss fight number 1 done. Moving on to the testing compound. Yes, you can. This game is designed for PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. So the game originally actually came out on both PlayStation 3 and on PC. So there is like an entire control moveset that is purely used with controller. I personally cannot do it. I don't know how people do it. But people have done day 1 highest content with purely a controller. So don't worry about that. Although, given the fact that it's an MMO, I mean, yeah, I could do the whole free trial spiel, but by now you've heard it millions of times. So I'm not gonna bore you to death with that. What I will say is that I believe we are about to meet some very lovely puppies. Hi, puppies. You will someday. Well, good, because this game can very easily take over your life. There we go. Hiya, puppies. Naughty puppies, but still puppies. T must be so confused when she gets back from her meeting. What I will say is you don't need to worry about missing content, because the game is, at this point, pretty much designed to be played single player. With one or two exceptions. With a few exceptions, you can do just about the entire game in single player. So even that is not the biggest problem. Like, they're pretty clearly future-proofing the game, so that even once the game goes into like maintenance mode in like 10 or 12 years, or 10 or 20 years, that you can still just continue playing the game, even if like no one or almost no one is online. Alright, let's go and deal with the magic pots. And the fun fact is, there's actually a second dungeon, and I might show that off as well. And that's the dungeon that I, for some reason, thought was the dungeon we were doing in Final Fantasy VI. And I'll explain why I want to get to that. You know, like, might as well do a bit of a showcase here. Also, oh, never mind, that's my controller going. Okay. Never mind, that's just the sound of my Xbox controller disconnecting. I was really worried there for a moment. I'm like, hang on, that should not be, is not the sound I want to hear. Oh, never mind. Oh, oops, up to, hold on, apologies. Sorry to the healer, my bad. Well, that is, this might be controversial, but the story in 14 is genuinely one of the best. I've seen Final Fantasy 14 veterans tell me that this is one of the best stories, Final Fantasy stories. Also, say hi to the earlier mini-boss, subject number 24. And to be fair, Final Fantasy 11 is also a number title despite being an MMO, so it's not that weird. So it's like, there is a precedence there, like 11 is also numbered. But I will say, from what I've been seeing, like Final Fantasy from other Final Fantasy veterans, is the story is good. Yeah, that's fair. Ow, oops, we did something wrong here. Wow, it's we really are just dying here today, aren't we? Oh right, because it's the never mind. I know what went wrong. I should mention I cannot just stop this during the ad break for the simple reason that, like, you know, it's an MMO. I can't just. God, it's been so long since I did this dungeon. Okay, that's pillars. Somebody please step in pillar. Exactly, also please someone step into the pillar, please. Pillars are meant to be shared. One second. One second, I need to very quickly. One second. Okay, making sure everyone is here. Good. quickly told everyone, hey, you know, you need to go. Someone needs to be standing in the pillar. Like, there's a new person here. I'm not gonna be angry. There we go. See, there we go. We are immediately seeing people jump into the pillars. That's exactly what we want to see. But like, whenever there's someone, you actually get an additional reward if you are in a dungeon with someone that's new. So there we go. There are 2 people now there. There we go. See? All of a sudden... All of a sudden we're getting past the mechanic. Oh, it absolutely is. And it's also just an incentive so that people don't... leave a dungeon when a new person is in here. Like, we love newbies in this game. You know, if you're just willing to learn... And even if you're not, to be honest. Yeah. So yeah, like you get, and it's to be honest, it's like a lot of stuff that's done for catch-up mechanics. There's a lot of stuff done so that people don't get too annoyed. It can turn into some toxic positivity, but overall, like, yeah, compared to other MMOs, the community is just very forgiving. Of course, once you get into like the genuinely difficult content, that obviously changes. But by that point, it's sort of assumed that you know how to play your job. Like, if you're, for example, first time doing this dungeon, we're more than willing to forgive many mistakes, to be honest. Like, everyone was once new, everyone... You know, it's sort of like the idea of everyone was once new, everyone was out. Well, I mean, you know, we both still survived. So, yeah. I will say, it seems that they have changed this boss, because it used to be that you would need to... pick the right elemental that he was that he was weak against. That is definitely new. Also, we are seeing this thing here. Keep that in mind. It becomes important later during this dungeon. There we go. See, it is moving. One can wonder what's in it. Also, there will be ads in 3 minutes. Ooh. Also, fun fact, this outside is dependent on the in-game server time. So it's currently midnight, according to Eorzea. So, as a result, we are doing this dungeon at night. Come on, over here. Come here. We can do multiple. Let's see if the healer can keep up. Arms length. Oh, you can absolutely be a wizard. You can absolutely be a wizard. Black Mage is available from the start, so that is absolutely doable. And they also have I mean, what would say cute quest line, but what do they call it, cute? Come on, buddies, over here. Goodbyes. Come on, over here. Come on, over here, over here. Goodbye. There we go. That's where you need to be. Also adds in 1 minute and 10 seconds. any... Oh, never mind. I kind of want to say I thought we were already at the boss fight. We are not! We have one more set of evil enemy baddies before we reach the boss. But you can probably already guess what the boss is. It's the fucker we fought for 2 hours in Final Fantasy VI earlier. That's the entire reason that I picked this dungeon, is I need to have my revenge. And I'm in the meantime thinking on what I want to do, but I'm gonna ask you guys for an opinion on that. Once we get to that point. Anyway, how about we say hi to Inferno, which is also known as Subject 128. As you can see here, you might recognize him. Currently just not saying too much because currently focused. 30 seconds for the ad break to continue while the ad break is still continuing. Welcome back, everyone. We are still fighting Inferno, and you, Joshua, let me show you what the guild master for the black mage is gonna look like. Because oh boy, no medicine, no medicine, bad, no medicine, no bad medicine, bad medicine. Unfortunately, we can't. We unfortunately are incapable of doing so. Not that it matters. And this one goes to the newbie. This one goes to the newbie black mage. Okay, already got that. There we go, got a play accommodation. That's normal. Allow me to show you what your guildmaster is going to look like when you become a black mage. And I can also show you the other dungeon that I thought of. It's one of those things where I'm very happy that they kept it around. Sort of like the same with the Persona music. Like, there is something so beautiful about it. Like, sometimes you just instantly, one go, you just immediately get it right, and Final Fantasy 1 is winning theme is one of them. Same with the Velvet Room in Persona. But yeah, this is your guildmaster right here. There you go. These are your guildmasters should you become a black mage. It indeed is. Speaking of Final Fantasy, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here regarding Final Fantasy, but speaking of one of Final Fantasy 4 reference, Also, God, I love this outfit. I just want to, real fast, I love the outfit that I'm currently having. Just real fast, I got this during the long 7.4 stream. I got the headgear, and I'm like, yes. This right here. This works. This works. But yeah, say hi to Tomra. Doesn't it look cute? So yeah, this is Tomra. It is pretty obviously a Final Fantasy IV reference. But don't worry, we have more Final Fantasy IV. Because you know how Moon Rabbits was a funky idea? Well, don't worry. We have Moon Rabbits at home. This is on the moon. Complete, but if you're listening, I'm just gonna be quiet here for a moment. They use a lot of Final Fantasy music. Like I've always said, even if you don't play the game, just at the very least listen to the music, because it is genuinely gorgeous. Also, this is the moon. And let me now, I know we're going to be doing another dungeon, but you know. As for the music, the dungeon that I was thinking of, because I made a joke on Blue Sky, like, ooh, eat for chemical. That is the dungeon we are about to do. And that's sort of like the last thing I want to do today, because it also gives me time to think on what it is that I want to do regarding Final Fantasy VI. Also, just... the music, genuinely, the music in this game is second to none. Anyway, so the dungeon that I thought we were doing when I started stream today, because I'm an idiot, is this. This is the Agrochemical Research Facility. And so, based on the name, you might be realizing why I thought that that was the dungeon we were in with Final Fantasy VI. And we also have, once again, we have a new person. Oh, someone is about to finish Heaven's Sword. Oh, they are in for a great time after this dungeon. Because the healer said that it's his second time healing there, so I've asked if they want me to slow down here. Or the healer can just be gone. That's also an option. That's also an option. Oh dear. Yeah, this is a problem. Who is the current party leader? Okay, hang on, I see who it is. In the meantime, let me go ahead and do some dancing. Let me do some dancing in the meantime. There we go. Members are currently being found. I'm kind of sad. Don't worry about it. I just feel guilty almost, because I'm like, you know, no worries. Want me to slow down? Like, the main rule of the game, especially once you get to this point, is like, oh, you do wall-to-wall pulls, but if the healer is like, oh yeah, second time, I'm like, no worries. I'll try and you know, like, I'm like, no worries about it, I'll slow down, just ask. But I've also left dungeons because I felt it wasn't good enough. So I can definitely... I definitely understand the feeling. Where is my emotes? Where are my emotes? Where is my emotes? I want my emotes. Social, there we go. IT, you have missed a lot, as you can see. Do you want me to explain why we are in this game as in not Final Fantasy VI? Because I can try to explain it. There we go, there's our healer. Yes. Subject 128 got to me. And I was like, I can sit here, try for another 2 hours. Or I can figure out... Exactly, you know, we have now full 3D pixel remaster. But yeah, subject 128 got to me. So I was like, there's no way for me to... Oh, fuck. Ah, grid! I forgot grid! Scheiße! Follow me, I'm freaking out here. Get over here. I always forget that grid goes off when you go into a lower level dungeon. But yeah, I spent about 2-ish hours trying to beat the guy, and I was like, there's no way for me to currently beat this. So I'm currently, while doing this dungeon, thinking on what it is that I want to do instead. So that's sort of why we're doing this dungeon, is I've just showed the bosses, and the reason we're doing this is because when I was trying to remember where we were, for some reason my brain went, I had the electrochemical research facility. Yeah, the problem is we can't. Because we're stuck. Like, we cannot actually do any further grinding because our save point is at the dungeon. So what I can do is then take a break from Final Fantasy VI this week, or at the very least at the minimum until Friday, in order to, in my own time, level grind for a bit. Like in that case, I would just sort of like, I'm not certain what the Wednesday stream would be. Oh, could I please, no, please, here, come on, please. Yeah, I do, but it's like 4 hours back. The previous save is 4 hours back at like the start of at the end of the first stream. Jump for White Mage. Oh dear. Oh, am I playing that badly, T? I'm so sorry. I'm genuinely sorry that I'm playing that badly in that case. But like what I can do is I can go back to sort of like the 4 hour save that I have, and then spend tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday just kind of getting back to where we are. And then on Friday we can continue with Final Fantasy VI. Like, how does that sound? Is that Wednesday is going to be the... I'm not sure what I'll be streaming Wednesday, but that we will be... but that I will spend Wednesday until, or tomorrow until the Friday stream, getting back to where we are, leveling up, making sure we're like level 20 or something like that. And then we will return to the fight in that case. Yeah, I know, Joshua, that's why I'm saying, like, TT knows better if I'm doing bad or not.
I will crush you underfoot.
Ah, yeah, regular, I haven't seen you in a while.
In the name of the Emperor. There is nowhere to run.
So, how does that sound? That I'm like, that the Wednesday stream is gonna be something else, but that... There we go. But that, like, the Wednesday stream will be something else. I'll spend Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday getting back to the point where we are, leveling up in the meantime. And then... There we go. And then on Friday we can continue from the point where we are. Because I do want to see more of Final Fantasy VI. But I also don't want to sit here and spend like multiple hours getting back to the point where we currently are at on stream. Like, that's not fun for you guys, that's not fun for me. Because I do want to see if there is like what it is that makes the game so special for so many people. So I definitely want to see more of the game. The problem is that the game, and we talked about this sort of, it feels like the dungeon isn't fully prepared for a situation where you can do the mini-boss, so element 24, or specimen 24, but not specimen 128. Like, it definitely feels as if, like, the mini-boss is a bit undertuned. Because what should happen is that the mini-boss kicks your ass, you're like, okay, I need to level up more. You know, you level up more, and from there you then have what you need in order to beat specimen 128. So it feels like during the remaster or during the pixel remaster, something went wrong there where it's no longer a good... Oh, we have experienced the opera. We have. It's in if you watch the Friday stream, you will see that we have, in fact, done the opera already. That's how we got to that point. Well, if it's a puzzle box, T, I don't know the answer to the puzzle. We have tried just about everything. But if you are like, I know the answer to the puzzle, and please put 6 back on so that I can give you the answer, then I'm more than willing to listen. Because I genuinely don't know the answers to the puzzle, and I've tried just about everything, to be honest. I mean, not everything, but I've like tried just about everything that's within reason. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. I mean, I feel like because I have experience with the boss from 14, that maybe like the mini boss is like easier for me as a result. Hang on, which way do we go? This way. Okay, good. Like, because I obviously had a version of Specimen 24 in Final Fantasy 14, I sort of immediately understood that I needed to deal with the elemental powers by constantly switching elements, as he used phase shift or barrier shift. But at the same time, I also kind of feel like if the answer is, oh, you need to have a specific character. Like, if the answer is gonna be, oh yeah, you need to have like a specific character with you, then my response to that is gonna be, I consider that bad game design. Yeah, we have tried all of that. I will leave the VOD up so you can see what we've all tried. Yeah, I do apologize for that. We've tried, what we tried was dealing with the arms first. We tried paralyzing the arms. We tried in making ourselves invincible. We tried, what else did we try? We tried to petrify the arms, to sort of make it so that the AI thinks that both arms are still available, but they really aren't. We tried a variety of different mechanics, or a variety of different espers. We tried to just burn the thing down. So there's definitely things that I have tried, but the pot will stay up, so don't worry about that. If you are like, okay, I want to kind of see what you tried, then the pot will stay up. You can always look at it. Speaking of looking at stuff, or rather not looking at things, there we go. Ah, I know who the new person is. It's the Black Mage, because they were the ones petrified. I mean, my main problem is there was actually a run that was going reasonably well, and then they did an instant kill attack. So that was fun. Yeah, so actually this is something that Joshua discovered during stream. It turns out that they made the bosses more difficult in the Pixel remaster, from what he said. Like, I'm kind of looking at Joshua because he's the one that sort of like was looking that information up, but I think he found that the Pixel remaster has actually been made more difficult. Because apparently the level I was at, which was roughly level 16, should have been doable. At least based on his research. So it is entirely possible, because we were also looking at like okay, there we go. Everyone is currently more than happy to try and eat me. That's exactly what I want them to do. I will say though, I remember when I first did this dungeon, back when Heavensward was still new. God, this was such a great dungeon. Like, the first time that I got in here, that I did this dungeon, there was such a kick of like, holy shit to it. There we go, Triad Control. Yeah, like I said, what I can do, I will open up Final Fantasy 6 again in a more after we're done with this, so that I can show my idea. Yeah, I think that is where it in the end went wrong, is that I didn't grind enough for the magic, but then again I'm also like, that could have been perhaps made more clear. Maybe I missed that particular thing, maybe I misinterpreted something there. Because if that is the big thing, then that isn't too difficult to solve. Like, if it's mostly just say, okay, you need to grind for more spells, then I might have an idea on how to work around that. And I absolutely have an idea that might work, but it does mean that the Wednesday stream is not Final Fantasy 6. That would mean that the Final Fantasy 6 stream is restarts on Friday. Because the thing is, Final Fantasy 6 is very story focused, and I can use that to my advantage. Anyway, let's go and deal with you fine buggers. Also, T, I'm trying to think, have you seen the revamped chemical research facility yet? Because they have changed the bosses as of a few years ago. Especially once we get to that point over there. But I'm a derp. I was petrified. That's on me. I look cool though. Like, the fact that you're saying all that makes me think you haven't. Oh, cool. Well, congratulations. You're about to see it. You're about to see the revamped fight. Alright, all aboard lift. Poor Carbuncle staying up top. Boo. Waiting. Wait for the black mage. Because I know they revamped this fight a few years ago. I believe at least. Like, yeah, it was this fight specifically, I believe. So like when they made the dungeons for Heavensward more single player friendly. Well, let's go to deal with Lalbrad first. I don't know why, but like Lahabrat to this day is the dumbest meme that's come out of Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm still laughing at it.
Darkness shall consume light.
This is the fight here. Yeah, okay, so you have seen it. Good. Go ahead and follow you. Oh, yeah, right, because they're getting closer now. Boom.
Mortal scum.
There we go, let's all stand together. Good boy. Seems that Lalbrad is feeling especially toasty today. Yeah. It is a bit of a shame they changed the fight because it used to be that. I'm not certain. Is that final attack still in there? But you have to like jump into the portals. Because it would be a bit of a shame if that isn't the case. But that might be. I'm trying to remember if this is. Trying to remember if this is a second phase or not. It really shows how long it's been since I last did this fight, but I'm like, I'm not sure if there is a second phase.
Your light shall burn no more.
Come on, buddy. Over here, come here. Let's dismiss you. I'm currently pausing the ad, so there is no ad break at the moment. Oh, good lord, that is so bad. I love it. I love how bad that is. Ah, we have a second phase, I believe. Yes. Okay, let's deal with Asian Prime. We are currently no, oh, bad Carbuncle, bad Carbuncle. I just love the idea that the Carbuncle is just casually sniffing the SCM Prime like a little doggy. Like, I'm just imagining just the Asian Prime being really annoyed at, like, the carbuncle just sniffing and then doing what dogs do when they have sniffed something real good outside. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. We have our new. All right, Asian Prime. I thought I had dismissed you. What do you mean there's an ad break? Oh, I didn't snooze it. I just missed it. I'm an idiot. Oh, that's on me. That is fully on me. Okay, bleed is done. Okay, there we go. Welcome back. Apologies, I thought that I had accidentally dismissed it instead of actually snoozing it. That's on me. That is, I humbly request your apologies for that. Not that you missed much, beyond is almost dying. Come on, we can do this. This is getting too close for my liking. Okay, 29%. I miss my Dark Missionary. I'm so used to using Dark Missionary the moment that an attack like this happens. But yeah, like, to sort of give, I guess, some opinions on Final Fantasy VI so far, yeah, that one fight, bit bullshit. But apart from that, yeah, so far I've enjoyed it. Oh no, oh why the Dragoon? Why did the Dragoon? No, the jokes, they will never end. Oh, why did the Dragoon have to die? For those of you who don't know, there used to be a time that Dragoons were known as floor tanks. Because they died a lot. Like, the mechanics of the Dragoon in this game were a bit iffy to learn. So, lots of people, myself included, happened to die a lot as Dragoons. So, yeah, we were named floor tanks as a result. Although I personally really loved the idea of the cleaning crew. Like, we made sure the floor was kept clean. And run out. Oh, the ultimate attack is no longer here. That's a shame. I mean, it was a really cool attack that he used to have here. Okay, and there we go. That's that done. Because he obviously cannot just... That was the healer. Okay, so there we go. So that was just real fast to showcase. Let me also quickly go to somewhere more funky. But yeah, so here's my idea. One moment. There we go. I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear that funky jazz. I desperately needed to hear the funky jazz. So let me very quickly show you my idea for what we're going to be doing on regards to Final Fantasy VI. So let me quickly restart that particular game. And let me tell you my idea for it. I mean, I need to do this anyway, because if we're going to be doing this, then... So let me quickly switch back over to Final Fantasy VI. Just like real fast. So here's my idea. I have here a quick save that is from the 4th of October. This is apparently the point where I quit at first. Here's what I can do. Here's what I can do. So currently the file over here, this is, let's assume for a moment that this file right here is unsalvageable. That there is no way to fix this, there's no way to continue on with this. What I can try, I'm not sure what we will be doing for Wednesday in that case, is I go to the quick save from the 4th of October, so the quick save from like when I first played this game. And I will play over the coming 3 days or so. I will play the game up until the Magitech Research Facility B1. And we will continue on Wednesday from there. That is the idea. Is that way there is content, there is still stuff to do. There is that case we can continue on Friday from the Magitech Research Facility, and we can pretend as if today's stream didn't happen. That is sort of like my idea for this week. So don't worry. I will say if it still is not doable to finish the game, then I should probably mention this. If that doesn't work either, that's it. That's the end. Then I'm not gonna replay the entire game. Purely because in that case, that's just a wall that we're not going to be able to finish. So that is just like the one thing that's the thing I'm willing to do on that one. So thank you for joining me. I humbly apologize once again for the way that today's stream went. Sometimes you have those streams. Friday, more Final Fantasy VI. I'm not sure what I'll be doing for Wednesday. we'll see. We'll see what I do for Wednesday. Maybe there will not even be a stream on Wednesday. We'll kind of see what we do there. Then Sunday, Mega Man 11 should be happening in the evening next week. Hopefully more Final Fantasy 6. And on Saturday, the 24th, the birthday bash. So if you're, you know, we're gonna be celebrating my birthday and the fact that I'm old, very old. So yeah, that should hopefully be very fun. Thank you all for joining me today. Thank you, Joshua and T especially. Deeply appreciated for all the help you've been given. You have given, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday for whatever it is we're doing, or on Friday for more Final Fantasy 6. Have a good night.